This is a 20-minute restorative practice just to reset midday, and you'll need a bolster, a couple of blocks, and a blanket. And we're going to start out with a belly roll. As I know for me, I hold a lot of my tension in my belly, and I know I'm not alone in that. So you're going to take your blanket and you're going to fold it up so it's about the width of your front hip points, and then you're just going to roll any amount, not too much, maybe like the size of a water bottle, and that's going to go right into your lower belly. You can kind of gauge how big the roll needs to be, or how small the roll needs to be based on how much you're bracing against it. So you do want to feel like at some point you could see the potential of relaxing into this. And if you notice after the first minute or so that you're bracing even more and just trying to grin and bear it, make the roll a little bit smaller. And I like to start hands stacked, forehead down, and just a couple of rocks with my hips, getting a sense of the space in the lower belly. And if you haven't done this in a while, or you're dealing with high stress levels, you're just going to release the tension from your abdomen just one breath at a time. So when you inhale, you'll breathe and send your breath right down into the blanket. And when you exhale, just see if you can relax a bit so that you allow the blanket to sink in. And each time, as you exhale, maybe you're able to relax a bit more. And this could take 10, 20 breaths until you feel like you can really let go. And you should feel your heartbeat, but you don't want to feel like your heartbeat is just pulsing right into the blanket. If that's the case, shift a little bit forward or back. When you notice the tension in your belly start to subside, start to kind of take a walk through your joints with your attention and see if you could let go of any unnecessary work. So if you're doing a lot of gripping through your armpits, through your hips, through your hands, can you let that go? you're still working on releasing through the joints or releasing through the belly, stay with that. Or else maybe bend your knees and windshield wiper your feet from side to side. This can be a small movement, or you can really reach your feet towards the ground. Doing your best to stay connected with what it feels like to be in your body as you move. Maybe it feels good to hold the feet on one side. And then the other. Go ahead, take a nice long breath in through your nose. Exhale, let it out through your mouth. And then bring your hands under your shoulders, press to hands and knees. And we're going to set up for supported child's pose. So especially after the belly bolster, I like to have the bolster nice and close to my pelvis so that when I fold forward, my belly actually has something to rest right on. I also like to set up the bolster at a little bit of a decline. Just feels a little bit nicer on my neck, but you can kind of play around how high it needs to be to feel supported. Notice all of the parts of your body that touch down. How does it feel to be supported by the floor beneath you? And what if you could trust in that support a bit more? Getting even heavier through those touch points. How does your connection with your supports change throughout the length of your breath? Soften the expression on your face, relax your jaw. Remember what it felt like to relax your belly muscles so much that you let the blanket sink in, and see if you can do that again here. And we're about halfway done with the shape, so you could bring the other cheek down.
If you find you're holding yourself up with your arms, maybe take your elbows a little wider or more forward. Let your shoulders relax. You notice where your mind is maybe wandering off to. And you can direct it back into the present using your body, the sensations in your body. And if it doesn't feel good or restful to watch the sensations in your body, you can pay more attention to where it is that your body touches the ground and how does the surface underneath you feel. And then bring your hands under your shoulders. Go ahead and press up out of your child's pose. And we'll set up for our final posture here. Legs up. So we're going to support the legs and we'll bring the spine into what I call a floating shavasana. So we'll take the blanket and we're going to roll it up the long way. Hopefully it's long enough that your tailbone and your head can both be supported. And get yourself nice and close to the bolster, get your legs up. You can also use, a couch, a chair, whatever you have to elevate those legs. And align the spine with the blanket. Folding another layer under your head if you need one, or maybe put a blanket under there. Take up as much space as you need to take with your arms so that you don't have to hold on to stay balanced on the blanket. And then bring your attention into your feet. How does it feel in your big toes? Maybe wiggle them around a little bit so you get a better sense for where they are in space. Feeling the skin of your big toes. Maybe you can get a sense of your toenails. Maybe you can feel the weight of the bones. And then how does it feel in your second toes? Your middle toes. Fourth toes. And pinkies.
How does it feel in your feet? Your heels, arches, balls of the feet. Can you get a sense of the weight of your foot bones? The space between them. How does it feel in your ankles? Can you imagine relaxing your ankles so much that you could almost release your feet from your lower legs? And then how does it feel in your lower legs, your shins, your calves, the inner and outer linings of your lower legs? How does it feel in your knees, all around your kneecaps, deep inside your knee joints? And could you imagine relaxing your knees so much that you could almost release your lower legs from your thighs? How does it feel in your thighs? Your quads, your hamstrings, so the tops and backs of your thighs, the inner and outer linings of your thighs. Can you feel the weight of your thigh bones? And then how does it feel in your hips? Your thigh bones nestle in. Could you imagine relaxing your hip joints so much that you could almost release your thighs from your pelvis? Can you feel the weight of your pelvis on the blanket? Nice and heavy through your sacrum, the bone in between the backs of the hips. Bring your attention into your fingers. How does it feel in your thumbs right now? Can you feel into your pointer fingers? Your middle fingers, ring fingers, and pinkies. Can you feel the palms of your hands and get a sense of the weight of the bones? How does it feel in your wrists? Could you imagine relaxing any tension from the wrist so you could almost release your hands from your forearms? Can you feel your forearms between your wrists and your elbows? Can you imagine the weight of the bones?
And then feel into your elbows, softening any tensions. You could almost imagine releasing your forearms from your upper arms, right at the elbows. And then feel into your upper arms. Imagine the weight of the bones. Relax and release at the shoulders, as if you could release your arms from your torso. And then bring your attention down into the lower spine. Can you feel it resting on the blanket? Can you imagine the weight of each bone dropping right onto the blanket like a little stone? Feel your way up into the middle spine, upper spine and neck, releasing each bone as you go. Relax the belly and let it drop back as if it could sink into a deep pool at the back of the hips. And can you soften a bit at the center of the chest? Release the weight of your head. Imagine you could relax your neck so much that you could release your head from your body and let it feel nice and heavy on the blanket. How does it feel to be held by the ground? How does it feel to watch your body softly breathe here? Take a long breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Bring a little wiggle into your fingers and your toes. Maybe gently turn the head from side to side. And if you're ready to move, you can roll to either side, letting your head rest on your bottom arm. And then press up to a seat. Thank you so much.